Uy, sino siya? Ang lakas ng dating, ang
Hello everyone! We're going to talk about practice occupational health and safety procedures. Before we start, I'm going to talk about definition of terms.
Ampere, unit of measurement for electric current. Circuit, the path of electric current. Conductor, a wire or a cord which provide path for current flow. Connectors and adapters, accessories that are used to connect from boxes to conduits or raceway to the other boxes in the electrical system. Corrugated plastic conduit, CPC, commonly known as a flexible non-metallic conduit or a mold flex. Hot wire, a hot wire through which current flow.
Insulator, a plastic, rubber, or asbestos material used to cover electric wire. Kilowatt, a unit of power. Metallic conduits, metal raceway that has classified into four rigid steel conduit, or RSC. Intermediate metallic conduit or tubing, IMC or IMT. Electrical metallic conduit or tubing, EMC or EMT. And the flexible metallic conduit, FMC. Non-metallic conduits, a plastic conduit or raceway designed to be a channel or wire that are classified as rigid non-metallic conduit, or the PVC, the flexible non-metallic or CPC, and the surface plastic molding.
Let's talk about hazard in waste. A hazard is something that can cause harm, electricity, chemicals, working up a ladder, noise, a keyboard, a bully at work, stress. A risk. It is the chance or probability that a person will be harmed or experience an adverse health effect once to a hazard. It may also to situation with property or equipment loss. A risk is the chance, high or low, that any hazard will actually cause somebody harm. For example, working alone away from your office can be a hazard.
For example, working alone away from your office can be a hazard. The risk of personal danger may be a high. Electrical repair is a hazard. If someone accidentally turns on the power, the worker's life will be in a high risk category.
There are major types of hazard, which can put both your health and your safe at risk. Chemical hazard, physical hazard, biological hazard, ergonomic hazard, or job-related hazard. 5. Physiological hazard or stress. About chemical hazard. If you are working with cleaning product, bleaches, paints, and other chemical agents, you need to understand what a chemical hazard is as well as how to protect yourself. Chemical hazard include liquid salts, cleanser, acid and paints, vapors and fumes such as welding fumes, gases such as carbon monoxide, product that can catch fire or explode.
Second, physical hazard. Physical hazard include machinery, electrical powers, noise, power, and hand tools working, and walking surfaces, trip and fall hazard, ladders and scaffolds, heat and cold ventilation.
Third, biological hazards. Why do we need to be careful around ticks, mouse droppings, bird pop, and wild animals? Because we might get sick from working around with certain animals, including people. Biological hazards include bacteria, viruses, insects, plants, birds, animals, and humans.
The rest run from skin irritation and allergies to infections. Dangers can come from unclean restrooms, mold and fungus, bacteria, insect stings, animal bites, and poorly stored medical waste.
Fourth, ergonomic hazard. If your job is poorly designed, you can develop long-term health problems. These problems can be raised for simple things like working for long periods in an awkward position or having to make the same motion over and over again. Problems can come from lighting, chairs, lifting, repeated movements, computer screen. Thank you.
Lastly, physiological hazard. Those that are basically causing stress to a worker. This kind of hazard troubles an individual very much to an extent that his general well-being. Suffocated stress can be lead to long-term health problems like headaches, anxiety, and impatience are early signs of stress. Those that are basically causing stress to a worker. This kind of hazard troubles an individual very much to an extent that his general well-being is affected. Stress can lead to long-term health problems, like again, headaches, anxiety, and impatience are early signs of stress. For example, workplace causes of stress include heavy workloads, lack of control over the pace of work, shift work, noise, working by yourself, fear of job loss, conflict with the employer.
What is threshold limit value? Threshold limit value is one of the most critical among the hazards that one may encounter is the chemical hazard. Chemical hazard produce reactions that may endanger one's health and life. This is the reason why the American Conference of Governmental Hygiene established a threshold limit value. TLV is a term used by the American Conference of Governmental Hygiene to express the airborne concentration of a material to which nearly all persons can be exposed day after day without adverse health effects.
Assessment. Risk assessment is the process where you run, identify hazard, analyze or evaluate the risk associated with the hazard. Number 3. Determine appropriate ways to eliminate or control the hazard.
ECGIH has established TLVs for approximately 850 chemical. TLVs may occur as
The Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999, under its Declaration of Principles, stated that the state should protect and advance the right of the people to a balanced and healthful ecology, in accord with the rhythm and harmony of nature. Declaration of policies. The state should pursue a policy of balancing development and environmental protection. To environmental protection, or to achieve this end, the framework for sustainable development should be pursued. Recognition of rights. Pursuant to the above declared principles, the following rights of citizens are hereby sued to be recognized, and the state shall seek to guarantee their employment definitions as used in this act.
Hazard control. What's hazard control? A hazard control is workplace hazard, chemical, physical, or etc. Can be controlled by a variety of methods. The goal of controlling hazard is to prevent workers from being exposed to occupational hazard. Some methods of hazard control are more efficient than others, but a combination of methods usually provides a safer workplace than relying on only one method. Some methods of control are cheaper than others but not provide the most effective way to reduce exposure. To control hazard in your workplace, you need to identify and understand those hazards. Your first priority should be always be eliminate the hazard. If the hazard cannot be eliminated, try finding safer way to carry out those tasks by substituting less harmful substance or changing the work environment through engineering. Control also consider changing how work activities are organized and performed. For example, reduce the time workers are exposed to a hazard by rotating them to other tasks. A. Controlling workplace hazard. Once a hazard has been identified and the risk assessed, control measures should be put into place. A simple list of control measures can be utilized. The hierarchy of control. Number 1. Identify the hazard. Identify the source of the problem. Number 2. Assess the risk. Risk assessment is the process where you identify hazard or analyze or evaluate the risk associated with the hazard. Determine appropriate ways to eliminate or control the hazard. Number 3. Eliminate the hazard or risk powered by elimination of the specific hazard or hazardous work process or preventing it from entering the workplace is the most effective method of control. Number 4. Engineering control may mean changing a piece of machinery, for example, using proper machine guards or work process to reduce exposure to hazard.
5. Administrative controls working a limited number of hours in hazardous area is an example of an administrative control, for example, job rotation. 6. Substitutions. One measure of replacing one hazardous agent or work process with the least dangerous one. Is it important to consider worker health and safety when work processes are still in the planning stages? Now, we are going to talk about provide personal protective equipment. Personal protective equipment includes air, eye protection, respirators, and protective clothing.
Healthy and safety at work. Personal hygiene. Finally, personal hygiene or cleanliness is also very important as a method of controlling hazard. Your employer should provide facilities so you can wash or take a shower every day at the end of your shift. No matter what your job is, wash your skin and hair with a mild soap range and dry your skin complete to protect it. Wash your hands regular and eating and smoking away from your work area. Help to prevent ingesting contaminants. Lack of personal cleanliness can affect your family's health. Your family can be exposed to hazard your work with if you bring chemicals and other workplace contaminants home with you and your clothes, hair, or skin before you leave work. Wash or shower and change your clothes when necessary to prevent bringing workplace contaminant home. Leave your dirty clothes at work, or if you must wash them at home, wash them separately, not with the family wash.
Every workplace should have at least minimal first aid facilities as well as adequate personnel. There are need to provide first aid facilities trained personnel and important components of a healthy and safe workplace. A basic first aid facility. 1. General cleanliness in the workplace is an important method of controlling hazard. 2. Good housekeeping reduces the risk of fire and is cost effective. 3. Good housekeeping measures should be planned when work processes are in the design stage. 4. Safe signs are not a method of hazard control. 5. Personal cleanliness is an important method of controlling hazard. 6. Your employers should provide facilities so you can wash and or take a shower every day. 7. Before you leave work, wash, shower, and change your clothes when necessary to prevent bringing workplace contaminants home to your family. 8. Leave your dirty clothes at work if you must wash them at home. Wash them separately. Never wash your work clothes with your family wash. 9. Your protective clothes should be clean regularly. Inspect your protective for holes and worn areas that could leave you open to exposure. 10. Insect your undergarments for sign of contamination. 11. Your workplace should have at least minimal fresh air facilities.
Emergency preparedness. Process ensure that an organization has complied with preventing measures, is in state of readiness to contain the effect of forecasted disasters, event to minimize loss of life, injury and damage to property, can provide rescue, relief, rehabilitation, and other services. After method, the disaster and resources to continue to sustain its essential function without being overwhelmed by the demand placed on them. Preparedness for the first immediate response is called emergency preparedness. So, reminder, always remember about our topic to prevent hazard and risk. Always be careful with things that are dangerous.
Pedaling-dali Uy, sino siya? Ang lakas ng dating Ang lakas ng dating